Today we have two speakers who are experts in their respective field and I am honored to introduce them. Our first speaker is Ms. Jessica Nayak, Certified Auditor, Clinical Quality Professional from Riyadh. And our second speaker is Ms. Heetal, Consultant Quality of Care and World Bank Supported Projects, Government of Gujarat, India. Thank you both for being here today. Let's begin. Let's begin with Jessica, madam, who will speak about definition and concepts of various quality dimensions. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ms. Srilekha and Mr. Jyoti Murugan. And good evening, everyone. My name is Jessica Nayak, Clinical Quality Specialist from Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So today I'm going to present about quality dimension and why it's crucial in healthcare facilities. Before starting the session, I would like to give gratitude to Dr. Thana Rasu, sir, the founder of Rishi Raghava International Statistical Institute, and his team for giving us an opportunity to interact with all of you. And I heartily welcome all the participants here. So let's begin. So today we are going to view about the dimension of quality and why it's very crucial in healthcare facility as well. So let's go for the introduction about the dimension of quality. The dimension of quality in healthcare refer to the different aspects that contribute to the overall quality of care provided to participant. So the dimension is very crucial, as we told about in the healthcare sector, and there are various dimension, like 6 dimension, which is important in quality to implement, and it help to bring desired outcome and positive outcome when we implement in healthcare sector. This dimension include effectiveness, safety, patient-centeredness, timeliness, efficiency, and equity. So, as I told you, together they guide healthcare organization in improving the care of experience, it optimizing the outcome, it help to reduce the error, and it ensure that care is delivered fairly without the discrimination. So let's see, we will see how we have to implement and what is the definition and why it is very crucial in healthcare sector as well. So this all dimensions of quality we can measure as well by different kind of indicators, by different methodology also. So we will get to know that our patients are satisfied and what care we are giving and what intervention we are giving. We can also measure that one by this 6 dimensions. So one by one, we will see what all dimensions. The dimension of quality in healthcare represent the critical area that contribute to improving the quality healthcare experience for patient and ensuring better outcome. Here is a breakdown we will see one by one. The first one is effectiveness, safety, patient-centeredness, timeliness, efficiency, and equity. So why the quality of dimension are crucial in healthcare sector? We'll go with the first one, effectiveness. The keyword for effectiveness is evidence-based practice and positive outcome. As we all know, we all are a healthcare facilitator and we are working and we are doing practice with evidence-based practice, and it's very important to reduce the error, to do the work on timely manner, and which bring the positive outcomes and satisfaction to patients as well as the community. So let's see the definition. The degree to which healthcare service achieve the desired outcome, including proper diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of diseases. And why it is crucial? It is crucial that healthcare intervention achieve their intended result, directly impact patient health outcome, reduces unnecessary procedure, and it help to optimize the resource use, focusing on effectiveness, which help the offer to evidence-based treatment, and that improve recovery rate and quality of life for the patient. So there are few example like injection statin we are giving for the patient those who are having a high cholesterol, and it is a evidence based practice as well. If we give statin for high cholesterol patient, it reduces the 7% of the value which value right now patient is having. It reduces up to 7%, and it is a evidence based practice. We cannot do experiment in the patient. We not have time because patient are coming in that situation. It's a very crucial time, it's a life saving time, so we have to try to implement the evidence based practice so we can save the life of patient and which bring the quality of life. Now next is the safety. Safety as a healthcare facilitator, we are focusing more on safety to provide safety for the patient, for our colleagues, for the hospital environment, to minimize the harm and adverse event also. So let's see the definition. The avoidance of harm to patient during the course of healthcare delivery. When patient is coming to the hospital, we have to make sure as a healthcare facilitator to as much as we have to prevent the harm, or we have to secure a borderline, or we have to deal with patient in such a manner by following the SOP, by following the policies to prevent the harm and it not reach to the patient directly or indirectly as well. So let's see why it's crucial. Patient safety is fundamental to healthcare quality, preventing medical error, adverse event, infection, injuries, any kind of risk unnecessary. We have to prevent this by minimizing the harm and adverse event and by following the SOPs and policies always. Prioritizing safety reduce preventable harm and build patient trust in healthcare institution. When we deal with compassion to the patient and their families and others, of course it reduce the harm and it help the patient to increase their desired outcome as well, and it impacted in a good quality of care as well. So let's see the example. Like for example, there are medication error. It's increasing nowadays in healthcare system due to few reasons. Like we are not having a system in few of the healthcare facility which is computerized physician order entry. Still some physician in healthcare system are following the prescription, manual prescription, and it's increasing. There are chances to get increase of error. For example, like prescription error, sometimes they not remember what is the drug interaction of the patient. So due to this also it leads to error for the patient, and patient will get harm, and it directly affect our safety criteria as well. So we have to make sure safety is the first step when we have to give to our patient and healthcare system by following all the SOPs, all the evidence-based practice, and we have to implement in healthcare system. It's very crucial dimension also in quality. Let's see the third one about the patient centeredness. What is meaning of patient centeredness? The patient engagement. When we are dealing with patient, their family, it's our responsibility to give to keep the patient in a center, and we have to give all the transparency information to them, so they will feel free and they will think that they are the part of the treatment, and there will be a transparency of treatment. So it will improve the communication, it will build the trust for patient as well as their relative, and together as an employee or as a patient also. Then let's see the definition. Providing care that is respectful of and responsive to the preference, need, and value of patient. So as I told you, it's our responsibility to give patient-centeredness, and it's patient right as well to know and to be a part of the involvement of treatment as well. Why it's crucial, patient-centered or promote positive health experience. When we involve the patient, when we involve the relative for decision, to give transparency, to give effective counseling to the patient, it increase the communication between patient and employee, and patient feels positive, and they will give a good they will have a good experience in healthcare, and it helps the patient and their family to build the trust among the hospital and among the healthcare staff as well. Then it improve the patient satisfaction as well. It empower patient to be active participation in their care, leading to improve adherence to treatment plan and better health outcome. So let's see the example. A hospital offering personalized care plan that involve patient in decision making, such as offering various options for pain management following surgery, help ensure that patient feel heard and respected, leading to better satisfaction and adherence to treatment. So as I told you, that we have to keep a transparency, we have to counsel the patient in a proper manner, not counseling only about the disease condition, but the care plan, financial, everything. It will help the patient to build the trust, it will help the patient to increase the satisfaction as well towards the treatment, and it directly impact that we are keeping patient as a centeredness. Now the next quality dimension is timeliness. So this is also a very important timeliness. As we all know, we healthcare people, and nowadays in our layman life also, no one have time to wait so long for even a single thing. So here the patient already, when they are coming, they are panic. They don't want to stay more than the desired timeline. They are depressed, they are in anxiety because it's a life-threatening places and about life. So timeliness is very important, and it shows directly how we are providing care, and within time frame how we are structure our process, structure our services, so we can provide impactful treatment. So let's see timeliness, what it means. Appointment of schedule, engage streamlined referrals, and improve communication. So apart from this, there are so many things which timely lines is very important for the treatment as well. So let's see the definition: providing care promptly, reducing delay and wait time for services. Why it's crucial, timeliness ensure that patient receive the right care at the right time, because this is very important. I'll give you one example. Suppose patient came with the complaint of body weakness, and doctor diagnosed as a stroke. So in a stroke situation, if we will not follow door to needle time, the patient will go in a worse condition, and there we cannot able to handle the situation. Patient will go in different worse condition, the chronic condition, the length of stay of patient will increase, there are less chances of life saving, morbidity rate will increase. So this impact the quality of care. So we have to prevent this condition from worsening or leading to complication. Delay care can lead to increased morbidity, higher cost, and reduce patient satisfaction. So here are one example. In an emergency department, we minimizing wait time by optimizing triage system and streamlining. So in this example, there are 2 points coming. Like, for example, the triage system. Triage system is a evidence-based practice. The people, the researcher implemented this practice, so we can follow this, and we will help the patient to reach the desired goal on a given timeline. Okay. And streamlining patient flow ensure that critical patient receive care promptly. So in this situation, in the triaging area, we can easily bifurcate the patient according to their condition, and we start the treatment. So it will helpful for the staff to provide the care, and it will be helpful for the patient to get a treatment on a crucial time period. And there are so many examples like door to needle, I told you. Door to balloon also is there for a heart attack patients, and this triaging example as well. TET, discharge TET, admission TET, ER TET. So this all, then how much time the doctors is taking for the diagnosis, that TET, and this all thing helpful to increase the quality, and it help, if we follow the timeliness, it will help to improve the patient satisfaction as well as goodwill of the hospital and healthcare sector. Now next we will see the efficiency. What is the keyword of efficiency? Optimizing process and resources. So it's very important. We have to optimizing the process. We have to reduce the duplication, because there are so many things, the same thing we are doing in healthcare sector, and it leads to duplication, which is time consuming also, which is means wasting the resources, the labor, the time, everything. So we have to optimize the process and resources as well. So let's see the definition: providing care in a manner that maximize the use of resource without compromising the quality. So we have to work in a very smart way, that we have to not compromise the quality, but we have to optimize the process to prevent the burnout of the employee, as well as to provide the satisfaction for the patient. So let's see why it is crucial. Efficiency minimize waste, reduce healthcare costs, and ensure that resources such as time, labor, and equipment are used optimally. By avoiding unnecessary tests and procedure, healthcare system can improve the value of care provided while maintaining high quality of standard. So we have to make sure what work we are doing, it is duplication, if it is increasing our timeline, if it increase the cost of labor, equipment, resources, we have to think, we have to see, we have to do analysis, and we have to follow without compromising the quality of healthcare. Let's see the example. By adopting electronic health record. So in some of the healthcare, still the assessment and all the records we are doing manually, which increase the time, which increase the labor cost, which increase the resources, and it's hampered the patient satisfaction as well. So healthcare provider can streamline patient information by sharing, reduce duplication testing, and ensure that treatment are more coordinated, leading to better care with less resource waste. So when patient is coming, they are giving detail in admission desk, for example. And if it is not, if we not have any electronic health record, whenever patient will go for any investigation, for any treatment, for any intervention, always he has to give their detail. But if we have a electronic health record, it will help to reduce the duplication, It will help to increase the patient satisfaction, because of course, as a human, when repeatedly we ask the same question, the patient get irritated. And when patient is in healthcare sector, of course they are in panic mode, they are in anxiety. So it's quite difficult for patient to digest this thing when we ask repeatedly the same question. So we can implement this, and it help us to reduce the duplication, to reduce the labor cost, to reduce the equipment, resource, time cost as well. So this is very crucial also as a quality dimension in healthcare. Let's see, the last dimension of quality is equity. What it means: addressing disparities and inclusive practices. Let's see the definition. What definition says: ensuring that healthcare services are delivered fairly. As a human being, as a healthcare facilitator, we have to be fair enough. We have to not do any kind of disparities or partiality or any kind of negligence in this thing in the base of race, gender, socioeconomic status, and other factor, because it directly hamper the mental status of the patient if we not follow the equity. For us as a healthcare facilitator, equity is very important, and we have to follow towards our patient, relative, colleagues, everyone. Why it's crucial: equity is essential to reduce health disparities and ensure that all population have access to quality care. It's human rights. They have to take, or they have to get a equality, a same kind of treatment. We have to not bias with the financial of someone, gender of someone, disease of someone. We have to not do like this. We have to provide a equity of care, and it's right of every human being that they get equity of care wherever they are. So, as a healthcare system, as a healthcare facilitator, and as a healthcare people, what we have to do in few areas, in rural area where people cannot go for a higher treatment, there is a technique which we call as a telemedicine service. So there people can, the doctors, the specialists can reach out to the patient and they can treat. And there are so many things like PHC, CHC, community, then education wise. Some in rural area, the people are not aware about the diagnosis, about the disease, and financial issues also. So as a healthcare facility people, what we have to do, we have to provide awareness, and we have to provide a camps which directly shows the equity, which help in the quality of care, which help to increase the patient satisfaction, and which leads to the desired outcome or positive outcome also. So everything is very correlated with each other, all the 6 dimension. It's a holistic approach as well. So this is all about the conclusion. In conclusion, all are directly impacted with each other. All the 6 things are directly impacted, and we have to follow. So this is all about the quality dimension.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your
Thank
insightful
you.
and informative presentation.
Thank you.
Now, let's hear from our next speaker, Ms. Keetal, who will discuss about the importance of quality dimension.
Thank you so much, Srilekha ma'am, for the introduction. Thank you so much, Rishi, for organizing this webinar. Jessica ma'am has already explicitly explained all the 6 dimensions, its application. I'll not take much of the time. I'll just directly go to its application and its necessity pertaining to healthcare. So the first application is implementing infection control protocols that we all are already doing, because the first principle of medical care is do no harm. So this is to reduce any hospital acquired infection, and its necessity is safety ensure that the care interventions do not cause any preventable harm to the patients. Next is effectiveness. The definition wise, delivering service based on scientific knowledge. and its application is adhering to the evidence-based clinical practices. We are already developing guidelines, national level guidelines, international level guidelines, standard protocols. And based on that, we are providing treatments so that uniform treatment would be received by the patient, as well as there is no any harm involved in the patients because of misdiagnosis. Effectiveness ensure optimal utilization of the available resources and maximize the output or outcome of the healthcare interventions. Next would be patient-centeredness, providing care that respect and respond to the individual patient's preferences, need, and values. This is basically extension of patients' rights, where establishing respectful. This is one of the examples, the respectful maternity care protocols that we are implementing in many of the healthcare facilities in the state of Gujarat, where we are enhancing the entire birthing experience during intrapartum and immediate postpartum. In timeliness, reducing waiting time and unnecessary delays while providing care. This is pertaining to our services, be it from the staff end or be it from other resources. Efficiency is using resources to achieve the best outcome without waste, and the application is reducing redundant diagnostic test, optimizing resource allocation, and introducing cost-effective treatment protocols. And the last would be equity, providing care that does not vary in the quality due to personal preferences. This is again the extension of patients' right to seek the medical care without any bias. And then why it's necessary, because equity ensures the fairness in healthcare delivery, addressing social determinants of health and improving the population health outcome. This is the importance that, we have conducted one pilot on respectful maternity care. We are still implementing it, and then post the successful implementation, we're planning to expand it throughout the state, where the patient safety and the patient centeredness has been our prime objective. So yeah, so that was it from my side. Any questions?
Excuse me, ma'am. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
In the context of efficiency, you have mentioned by avoiding unnecessary tests. So I would like to know, how will we monitor this unnecessary tests, and how will we measure and bring some change in this particular segment?
Okay, ma'am. The first example I would say is ki in India we have one scheme, ABPMJY. In this scheme, like just to claim more money, we are conducting many tests, like if even if it's not required. So just for the claim or for the sake of money, we are doing it. So in that case, the rationalization should be done from the clinical part, and that's where the clinical standard treatment protocols come into the picture, that we need to prescribe the tests those who are actually required, so that we can that should be done from our medical audit as well, that we can conduct on monthly basis, and we try to verify it with the diagnosis, and actual diagnosis, based on diagnosis, if the prescription has been done, then we should correlate it with the test has been done. So by correlating these two, I think we should rationalize it whether it's required or not.
okay, let's summarize today's webinar. Actually, we explored the healthcare quality, highlighting its importance in improving patients' outcome and ensuring the effectiveness, safety, and efficiency of healthcare system. Our esteemed speakers, Jessica Madam and Hetal Madam, shared their insights into the key dimensions which define healthcare quality and emphasize why each dimension plays a critical role in patient care. This is our takeaway message, that defining healthcare quality is not just about a clinical outcome, it is also encompasses effectiveness, safety, efficiency, patient-centeredness, timeliness, and equity. And each importance of each dimension also they have very clearly explained, and the real world application, how it will be useful for us. And both speakers provided examples from healthcare systems and practices that have successfully integrated these dimensions, from implementing quality improvement programs to enhancing safety protocols. I may conclude that this discussion reinforces the idea that healthcare quality is a dynamic, evolving concept that impacts not only the outcome of the patient care but also the overall sustainability of healthcare system. Focusing on improving these dimensions helps ensure that patients receive the best possible care and that healthcare organizations remain effective, efficient, and equitable in their delivery of it. Thank you once again to our speakers. Thank you.